All right, you need to think about that. And when you get your drug treatment, all the people that you need to apologize for not being in their lives, not being the great grandfather that you should be, not being the great parent that you should be, you need to apologize to them. You understand?
Paul Duncan once ran businesses, had a family, and lived a comfortable life, until it all spiraled. After losing his parents, his partner, and control over his mental health, he turned to drugs. But when he stood before Judge Boyd, hoping for deferred adjudication, things didn't go the way he expected. Judge Boyd has one message: your pain doesn't give you permission to profit off someone else's misery. Let's get into it.
All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 5349A, State of Texas versus Paul Harley Duncan. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
For the defense?
Scott McClung for Mr. Duncan.
And are you Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Duncan, you entered a plea on to count one, the lesser included offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. You entered a plea of no contest. We were scheduled on October 31st, but you were ill, so we brought you back today. According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There is a $1,000 fine. The state is opposing your application for deferred adjudication. The state is recommending community supervision. Just one moment off the record. All right, we're back on the record. The state is taking in consideration 2022 CR 5350. There's to be restitution of $114, no contact with Christopher Rodriguez, and of course, the length of probation time is outside the plea bargain agreement. Are both parties ready to proceed, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any witnesses from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, yeah.
Oh.
Mr. Duncan.
Are you going to call Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Duncan? All right, Mr. Duncan, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to need you to keep your voice up so that the court reporter can hear. If you could state your name for the record, please.
Paul Duncan.
All right, defense.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Duncan, Paul, you're asking the judge to give you deferred adjudication in this case, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have any prior criminal history?
No, I had a misdemeanor charge back in Arkansas in 91. It was just fine and release. And so other than that,
Other than that misdemeanor in 1991, no prior criminal history?
No.
Are you now and in the recent past undergoing any type of physical or mental health issues?
yes, I've back in, I guess it was the end of 2017, actually started earlier that year when I got a call from my parents' doctor saying that their care was going to have to be taken over by the state if I wasn't able to step in, and they lived in Arkansas where I was born and raised. And so fortunately with my ex at that point, or with my partner at that point, I was able to take over their care and travel back and forth taking care of them. And probably about 9 months into that, my mom got terminally ill and wound up passing away in August of that year. And then,
What year was that?
I believe it was 2018, 2017, 2018.
And that's when you lost your mother?
Yes,
And in the year to year and a half after that, did you suffer other personal losses of people that were close to you?
yes.
What was that?
My father at that point decided he didn't want to be around anymore. I had had them, or had got them set up in a assisted living center there in Arkansas or in Fort Smith, and sold their house for them and got all their affairs in order, and had them in a nice assisted living center there in Fort Smith. And they just, or he especially, was very unhappy with the living situation and not being able to be out on his own. And then when my mom passed away, he just didn't want to be around anymore, and ended up falling a couple times, and then in a nursing home where they weren't changing the catheter that he was receiving at the emergency room after he had fallen, and wound up got a call from their original doctor that had called me asking me if I would be able to take charge of their care. And she had seen that he was in the emergency room again, and asked if she could step in and take a look at his case. And he wound up that she ordered a spinal.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you at that right now, and I appreciate you explaining these things to the court, but really, if you can just kind of
Okay.
try to listen to the question, just answer it directly instead of
Okay.
too much narrative. And my question was, after your mother passed, did you suffer other losses? And who were those that you lost in the year or year and a half after that?
I lost my father in January. He passed away the Friday before would have been their first anniversary apart. My kid's mother passed away that following January. And then my partner passed away the May after that. And in that same year. And that starting with my mother was kind of a big emotional and mental spiral for me, because I was also having a lot of home issues that was causing me some.
And by home issues, what do you mean?
Two relationships that were very mentally and emotionally destructive for me.
Do you have children?
Yes.
And how was your relationship with your children at that time?
It became pretty much non-existent. My kid's mom was very detrimental to my relationship with the kids, and they had issues. They had issues. Of course, they were traumatized very much by her passing as I was, but that brought to light a lot of the past issues that we had tried to work through together and are still working through today.
And so did that lead up until that point, how were you employed?
I was project manager for a construction company, and then also Tommy and I owned an insurance agency and a retail shop out in Burnett County.
So were you living a good, stable life, your income was good?
Had a home that was paid for, had 3 businesses, and then my work as well.
After those losses that you suffered, and what toll did that have on your mental health? Have you been diagnosed with mental health issues since then?
Yes, I've been seeing a counselor and working towards. I've got an appointment on Wednesday with a counselor there at Family Elder Care in Austin to get set up on some of the programs that are available. That they're going to go through an evaluation of my history and my situation.
Have you been diagnosed with any mental health issues?
Yes, depression and anxiety have been a big issue from pretty much from the time that my mom passed, and have been on several different drugs trying to, keep that under control on the anxiety side.
So you talked about a spiral. So for the last 3 years, did these issues that you've had with your mental health and personal issues and your losses result in you losing your job?
Yes.
Did they result in you having trouble with relationships in your life?
Yes.
Did they lead to the case that's made the reason we're here today?
Yes.
Is getting yourself involved with that?
Yeah.
At this point, are you asking, as part of, even if it's not deferred but regular probation, are you asking the judge to order supervision and support to treat your mental health issues?
Yes. I would very much like that.
And you're currently living in Austin?
Yes.
You also have physical
Yes,
health issues?
I have seizures, and as part of those seizures, I have 7 compression fractures in my back that cause me almost constant pain. That's a lot of times I'm moving and rocking back and forth because I have only one of them they caught in time to be able to do a kyphoplasty surgery.
Is that why you missed court last week, was the
Yes,
seizures?
I had a seizure and also having some digestive issues, which then they found they found that I had some blockage in some of the artery or blood vessels in my abdomen.
Are you looking forward to whatever conditions, programs the court will order regarding not only your mental health, but any type of substance use issues that you may have or may have had? Are you willing to and open to abide by any of those conditions?
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk to the or mention to the judge?
Just that I want to express that I've definitely, once this issue happened back in December, that my life changed dramatically at that point, and it's not been easy, and it's actually been much more difficult, in many ways, especially most of those people and support and 4 friends that I thought I had have walked away because a lot of them were in relation to the drugs and to that issue was more along the financial side than it was anything for me personally doing the drugs. It was more of a financial thing, trying to soften the blow of losing my job and all the issues that I was having on my home front. So just want to make sure that that's clear, and it's not, I understand and I know that it's the drug is a problem for anybody and everybody that does it. And I see that, and I see so many times when people sit there and say that it doesn't affect them or doesn't, bother them in that way. And you can clearly see that they're altered by it, by the results of it.
Are you in communication with your children now?
I am starting to get back in communication with them. I've gone for about almost 2.5 years without being able to talk to them on a regular basis, and not necessarily due to the drugs, but due to just our relationship in general and my life in general.
And so you're talking to them now?
Yes. I was
Where do they live?
in Arkansas,
Is
just
it-
outside of Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Is it your hopes that ultimately you can move up to where they live in Arkansas and be part of their life?
Yes, because my daughter's in, her health is in really poor condition right now. And she's got 3 daughters and is going through another divorce and is desperately, needing, since her mom passed away, desperately needing me to be there closer, and I've not been able to because of this. Okay. Feel a lot of guilt for that.
That's what.
Sir, just really briefly, did you have an opportunity to look at the drug lab for this case?
The drug lab,
Yes, sir.
I don't believe so. No.
Okay. Would it surprise you that one of the items that was found in regards to this case, it was 253 grams of what tested positive for methamphetamine?
It's probably not.
And then there is one other item that was tested, or 2 other items that were tested. It was about 75 of a gram of cocaine. Would that surprise you?
I didn't hear you. How much of a
75, 0.75,
0.75?
3/4 of a gram.
Okay.
Sorry, horrible math. And then finally, would it surprise you that the last item that was measured, it was about 14.5 grams. of cocaine?
Nothing.
Pass witness, Your Honor.
All right, any follow-up questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so I have 2 questions for you. One, if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And before you answer, know that you are going to get a drug test today.
No. I do not know what the results would be.
Well, let's start with this. What have you been using?
I stopped using meth and that's pretty much what I was using, period. As soon as this case happened, I've faltered a couple of times over the time, and I was telling Mr. Crum out in the hall that my son has had issues in the past with addiction and
Okay, so time
It's been
out, because let me just tell you what is happening here. What is happening is I'm asking you a question and you're not answering it.
Okay.
All right, so my question is not about your family. I'm going to get to that in a minute. My question, everyone, you need to make sure your phone is off. That's okay. My question is, you're going to get drug tested today.
Yes.
You said you're unsure what the result's going to be. So my next question to that is, what could you possibly be positive for? That's my question.
No, the only thing that I could be positive for would be meth, and that would be not having done it recently. I think my last stint was about 57 days, I guess.
No, here's the thing. If you use meth 57 days ago, you shouldn't be positive.
No.
So how could you be positive for meth if you used it 57 days ago?
No, I said my last stint or spans without using it was 57 days. And so I had.
So here's the question. When is the last time you used meth? You are going to be drug tested today.
Yes.
The state has agreed to you having probation. So I'm inclined to follow that probation. When I'm asking people about their drug usage, I'm trying to figure out where you are in your sobriety. So what could you be possibly positive for today? You've answered meth. My question for you is, when is the last time you used meth?
Thursday evening.
Now, was that so hard?
No.
All right. So here's the thing. You've got to stop avoiding people's questions, because at some point you're going to have to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself.
Sure.
I did listen to your testimony. I internalized everything I hear. And a lot of what I heard from you is how you need to be on probation, or you need to get this because of other things happening in your life. You need to help your daughter because your daughter has children. You're not a good person to be helping your daughter right now because you're not clean and sober. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. My next question is, when did you stop having employment?
My last full-time job was with Patriot Directors, and that was August 2019,
All right.
and I was on unemployment for more than 2 years throughout the COVID situation.
So you were using these drugs, I guess, for use and to supplement your income
I was using during that time.
and to supplement your income?
Yes,
All right. And how many grandchildren do you have?
5.
And what are their ages?
They range from 15 down to 2.
So are you currently employed or no?
No.
How are you supporting yourself?
Contract work and friends, working with friends and on jobs that they do.
And are you asking to remain in Bear County or are you going to go to Travis?
I live in Travis, so I would prefer to be there.
All right. So, Mr. Duncan, you had a lot of drugs. And I always tell people when you're having a bad time in life,
Mhm.
you shouldn't be making people's lives miserable, right?
Yes.
So you're selling drugs. Guess what you were doing? You were building your happiness off someone else's misery. And the amount of drugs that are in this case, the court is not going to grant you deferred adjudication. You understand? I'm going to follow your agreement and give you probation. The court is going to sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 5 years. There's $1,000 fine that will be probated. Take in consideration 2022 CR 5350. There's $114 restitution to SAPD for laboratory testing. There's to be no contact with Christopher Rodriguez. Transfer to Travis County. There's to be regular reporting to probation by Zoom or in person. We're going to do the UA hotline until further notice. TAP evaluation. We'll follow the recommendations of TAP evaluation. If the TAP evaluation recommends inpatient treatment, then we'll do intensive outpatient treatment. And I think Travis County may have their own drug program. If they have a felony drug court in Travis, see if he can be referred to their felony drug court. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And as Travis County does it, I'm going to want field visits 2 times per month until further notice. If Travis County does the field visits and within 3 months they see everything is fine, then they can do it as they see appropriate. Probation, is there anything else he needs?
Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from me, Mr. Duncan, in order to be successful?
Just the support on the mental health side of things and working with like I said, I've been working with and working towards a plan on that with my counselor and my case manager there at Vibrant Health.
All right. So we can do a MIC evaluation. That's a specialized caseload. So they'll be able to address the mental health issues. And you're to sign a release of any mental health doctors that you're seeing in your case manager. That'll help probation coordinate things with them, okay? And I'm not going to order, the state is requesting 200 hours community service restitution. I'm not going to order that because I want you to keep up with your mental health issues and keep up with your drug issues, okay?
Thank you.
All right, anything else you need from the court? I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Sir, did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Yeah, then you have no right
Okay.
to appeal.
Yes.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you. We can go off the record. Mr. Duncan, I'm serious. Everyone goes through life with mental health issues. People have ups and downs with their families. And what you hope for is that people don't take advantage of you. And by doing what you did, you took advantage of other people and you tried to build your happiness off of their misery. And what I mean by that is you are more concerned about your finances and not concerned with the people that you were hurting. All right, you need to think about that. And when you get your drug treatment, all the people that you need to apologize for not being in their lives, not being the great grandfather that you should be, not being the great parent that you should be, you need to apologize to them. You understand? All right, good luck to you, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge Boyd gave Paul Duncan probation, but not a free pass. Deferred was off the table, and so were the excuses. This case was a stark reminder. Personal loss doesn't excuse public harm. Should Judge Boyd have gone harsher, or was probation the right move? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more real justice right here.